Nick Smart, Chair of West Yorkshire Home Secretary. I'm just going to pick up on a point around crime and demand because I find it extremely frustrating. The fixation on running crime down ignores the fact that demand is exploding. The HMIC says we can't cope with demand. We don't have enough staff. Demand is complex. I covered pace this weekend in Happy Valley. You might have seen it on TV. And within 30 minutes of turning up, my response inspector is breaking down in front of me, going off sick with stress because of the hundreds of outstanding calls. I walk into custody and it looks more like an A&E ward with all the stuff on the, the mental health issues with staff. I've got staff down at the hospital looking after suicidal individuals who get released with a checklist of saying they are highly suicidal, and just because they're in police care, they're releasing to us, bring them back to their cells, so they are coming back into custody. We have to get crisis team out. I've got officers having no meal breaks, working extended tours. That is the reality of policing, day in, day out, not just in West Yorkshire, West Mids, the Met, wherever. There are not enough cops to deal with the demand. So I'm going to ask you, as Steve has tried to ask you, are you going to invest in the police service with greater budgets for chief constables? Because the bright individuals, they're robbing Peter to pay Paul. They don't have the money to deal with the demand or what the public expect, and we need more cops. Will you give us more money, more cops?
I'm sorry to hear the description you've made of the situation in your force. I have been round visiting a number of forces over the past 8 or 9 months. I haven't seen a situation like that. I understand. No, I mean, this is a real crisis situation you've described to me, which does sound very punishing.
It's a crisis across the country, not just in... I'm not saying my force is at crisis, far from it. We have some very bright, talented senior officers who know the state of policing, know the priorities have to be juggled. They don't have the money or the cops to do it. And the reality is exactly what I've just described. It's happening everywhere. And if you're saying, if you are being told it's not happening, you need to change your advisors. Come to West Yorkshire, come to West Mids, go to the Met, and see what the boroughs and the strains than staff are under. Go into custody. Look at the other agencies, the NHS, social care, that are placing ridiculous demands on missing people, mental health. I would say less than 50% of cops on the front line actually deal with crime on a daily basis because of all the other demands from other services. We are the service of first resort. And until you resolve that as Home Secretary and tell these other agencies not to place that burden on us, we are always on the back foot.
Let me just answer this very simply by accepting your invitation to come up to West Yorkshire, should I be in the post after June the 8th.